The book of Proverbs in the Bible is a book that is amazing in its context because it is literally a book of wisdom. And in this book of wisdom are things often sought after by others, but are, if ever, hardly, rarely, ever followed. If one were to ever truly follow through in what's written in Scripture, as it is written in Scripture, when it is the most inconvenient time to do so, I will tell you your life would change forever because you are now moving from a space of wisdom, so a lot of things no longer begins to bother you. So many things begin not to even matter. And with this being the case, growth, expansion, and maturity develops. So, with that being said, that the Proverbs is the book of wisdom, right? That is the context. That is the premise from which I am working on. It also tells me what a wife looks like in character. It doesn't have anything to do with ceremonies, okay? The ceremonies are traditions, okay? That's all tradition based. What Proverbs 31, that Proverbs 31 is explaining or demonstrating is that woman in character. And she is noble. She is virtuous. She is reliable. She demonstrates poise and grace and resourcefulness and so many more things that we will definitely cover in this platform because I think it's really, really important to know so that we can have an example of what something looks like so that we can measure ourselves against it and also be able to measure our results. We can see the fruits of the behaviors. You understand? So the wives that men prefer are the wives that I am talking about in the Bible. Not only the Proverbs 31 wife, but also you have Ruth, you have Esther, you have so many other people that we can truly follow their examples. They were exemplary in their own form. So with that being said, let's get to this welcome message without further ado. Welcome, Patreons. I am so excited today to be able to bring you my very first, well, I guess, behind the scenes with Trinity, right? I don't know what you expect because, well, I don't know what the hell to do. I just took the whole behind the scenes thing to mean that, well, I will just pretty much make videos that I normally would not allow the world to see because they could be quite judgmental, you know, and I understand that this is the case because they're coming from a place of pain, whereas you gals and whatever guys may decide to join us later, you know, are understanding of, you know, flaws, and you are working towards health, you know, towards healing. So, you know, my stories, my process, everything that, you know, my experiences and all will help towards that as opposed to hindering you. And I'm so loving this because I have so much I want to share, but I have to do it in my own way, on my own time, in my own manner and style. So this is the best platform for it, so here it is. Alright, so before we begin any further and go into any more details about anything, let's get to know me first, okay? My name is Nevaeh Devansha Trinity, and I live in New York City, right? I live with my man and my daughter and my mom, and I love teaching, okay? I do door dashing, it's kind of like a supplemental income for me. Not that I have, well, not that it appears I should have the right to have it as a supplemental income, being as though it's my only visible source of income. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it is what it is. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But moving forward, right? Teaching is where it's at. Teaching is what keeps my heart pumping blood, you know? Teaching is the cause for my lungs to continuously expand and contract, you know, taking in and letting out air just so that I can breathe. It's more than a passion, but feels more like a purpose, a need even. I can't deny it any longer. I've tried different things, doing it other people's way just to shut them up mainly, and it didn't work out for me. I did put my all into it. I've always put my best foot forward because that's just the way I move. It's my character style. So, you know, that wasn't anything special, nothing that needs to be applauded, okay? It's just what I do, it's who I am. And I know there are so many people out there like me. So yeah, whatever. However, what I've come to notice is that the more I shifted my focus off of what other people wanted from me and how other people wanted me to do it, and I redirected my attention and placed my trust, okay, my trust into God, I'm noticing a transformation. It's like, if you can even imagine being a caterpillar, knowing how you feel inside, right? And then one day waking up and noticing that you are enclosed into something. You're encased, right? And even though you are encased and enclosed, you feel something else happening inside of you. A change. A change begins to happen. And before you know it, when you look into the lens of your camera phone, when you look and stare at yourself, what you see looking back at you is the exact person who you've been striving to be, who you've dreamt of becoming. Now you are living the lifestyle of this person. You know, you are doing things differently. You are moving in different ways. You are associating with different people. Your personality starts to come out, and you really begin to tap into all of your resources that is inside of you, that is called personality and character and creativity and all of these great aspects of you that was always hidden inside of you, just waiting, bursting out of you. It's like waiting to burst out of you, because it is the you that was meant to be born, not the one that was raised by people who believed that you should live for them, you know, as if you owe anyone anything because they decided to have sex and not abort you. So yeah, now you have to pay for that for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? And well, God forbid you're a black person, but we're gonna get into that another day. I got a whole entire idea about that. But back to what I was saying, you know, I've always wanted to be a speaker. I've always wanted to be a teacher, and with the teaching, I completely understood. I knew that what I wanted to teach, and in the manner in which I wanted to teach it, I knew that I could not go to no educational institutions. I could not go into no school system. I couldn't even go into the church. You understand? It was it was that serious. You know, I wanted to make sure that there was no room for error. And I had to follow the plan accordingly. And for the past 6 years, you know, of my life, I finally made it to where I wanted to be. It only took me 6 years to get to a place where many will have died never having an experience, never experiencing it for themselves, because they never did anything necessary to make that happen. They never tried. They didn't care enough. They were too busy worrying about, you know, saving themselves from future dooms that has yet to happen. But okay, that's another story. Yeah, I also have that that sense of humor. What is it? Stupid thing, Heyoka. That Heyoka humor. Yeah, so I could be a little bit morbid, but I mean no harm. I mean, I just say what I say based on facts. You know, whether somebody like it or not, it's not my problem. I'm just going by the information that's presented to me, and that's what I base my conclusions off of. And in fact, that is a good quality for me, because that allows me to be able to make better decisions for myself. I have this very, 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 very great balance of logical thinking and emotional feeling. You know, as an introverted extrovert, you know, well, an ambivert for short, I can see things from everyone's perspective, and I can also measure their actions and the results against someone else's actions and the results, and I can then determine which results do I want to experience for myself. I don't care about the person. It's never about the face for me. It's always about the action and the results. I don't care about who's performing the actions. I don't care who is getting the results. All I want to know is, how can I get the same? Everything else is completely irrelevant. I don't care what anyone does with anything that has ever been given to them. I don't care what they do with their gifts. I don't care what they do with their blessings. I don't care what they do with their rewards. I simply do not care, because it's not my damn business. The more time I spend thinking about someone else's something else is time taken away from me focusing on something that I may want. You understand what I'm saying? Want to achieve and doing what's necessary in order for me to achieve it. We cannot do two things in the same span of a moment. That multitasking idea is bullshit. Okay? It's crap. It's absolute crap, because a moment is smaller than a split second. In fact, moments are immeasurable. So, if that is the case, how can you do two things at the same time? It doesn't work. So this multitasking idea is something that we have to get out of our minds, because that leaves so much room for error, believing that you're getting something done when in fact all you are doing is being busy. You're literally busy doing nothing productive. It makes no sense to me. So I don't do that. I focus on one thing at a time until I understand it enough for me to move forward onto something else. Because that very thing should be leading me to the next thing that is going to bring me closer to the goal that I am desiring to reach. You know what I'm saying? It just makes logical sense. And it feels better for me to do the most logical thing to do, because I can analyze it, I can measure it, I can manipulate it, I can do a lot of things with it, but at the end, what I am looking for are results. I am result driven, and that is what one of the qualities men prefer in a wife, result driven, because a wife who is driven by results, right, and who loves her husband, who wants her husband to win. You understand? She is going to make sure that whatever decisions that she makes, it's going to be beneficial to her husband winning. That wife that men prefer is a wife who wants her husband to win. So in doing so, she becomes cooperative to his needs because she knows that he knows better what he wants, what he needs, what he requires in order to win. So that wife needs to be that presence, that body, that one that is willing to follow his lead because she trusts in his decisions. She recognizes the husband wants to win. So whatever decisions that he is going to make, it's going to be made so that he can win. Okay? Now, the reason why she is in his corner, because his winning is not just for him. If he wins, his whole family are winners. We all win. We all share into the fruits. We all reap the rewards. We all celebrate in kindness and in like. We all benefit from his winnings. You understand? So that woman, not only does she want him to win, but she does everything necessary so that he can. You understand? And that wife is also loving in spirit. Not that he needs her love. He doesn't need her love. She needs his love. Because it is his love that keeps her included into his plans for the future that is supposed to be bigger and brighter and better. You understand? So with that in place as a premise to stand on, she trusts in his behavior. She trusts in his actions, right? And she does so because she believes in him. It's not the cause for the wife, unless it goes against her morals and values, which is not necessarily the case. That's something that usually does not happen, okay? And the little bit that has just been amplified so much that it has been distorted and pulled and taken and shredded out of context. But we also know that a wife loves her husband enough to protect his character and to nurture his nature. That is the disposition of a wife. Those are some of them. I mean, there are a whole lot of qualities to her that has yet to be described by me. And I will, as, you know, time goes on, because I'm going to be learning more as I experience more. I'm going to be expanding on myself. You know, I want to reach levels of consciousness that I have never explored before, and I am going to do everything I can to get there, you know, and I'm going to take everybody with me on this, because you guys are worth it. At least you think so, and if you think you're worth it, well, shit, who the hell am I to argue, right? I mean, you're already proving it just by being here, just by committing to this, just by supporting me, you know, so I really can't argue against that, which is why I charge so little I mean, I would charge nothing at all if, you know, money wasn't necessary. But I am realistic, you know. Excuse me. I also realize that when people invest in themselves financially, they put forth more effort to gain the results that they desire. Excuse me. They'll be more willing to sacrifice relationships depending on the outcome that they desire and the path that it takes to get there. But if it's fun, if it's long lasting, if it's connecting you to other people, if it's connecting you to God, if it's bringing you enjoyment and raising your vibration, damn it, I say go for it. Go for it. Real talk. Like, what's $50 a month for one-on-one sessions with a professional? A plethora of tools and content to learn from, and being a part of a community who understands you, who gets you, who is rooting for you, who wants the same as you. Like, really, in comparison to what you've been getting, doing what you've been doing, investing in what you have already invested in, like, I don't know, but I'm gonna digress. You know, that just doesn't make sense to me. And that's another character of the wife men prefer. Women who make sound decisions in judgment from the foundation of good sense and not from an emotional episode. You know what I'm saying? Because decisions in the end, depending on what they are about, they leave long-lasting effects. So a man wants to know that his home, his finances, his children, his legacy, his reputation, his image is in the hands of someone who exercises good sense and not move or is motivated by emotional outbursts. Yeah, you know, so those are just a few things I just wanted to put out there, and we are definitely going to go into a lot of the healing part that you've all been waiting for, you've all been searching for, and we're gonna have to start there first. Before we can even build that wife men prefer, you must first heal. Because you can't be a girlfriend and expect to take on the role of a wife. You can't. A wife is a disposition. It's a character. She's noble. She's virtuous. She's humble. She's submissive. She's resourceful. She's insightful. She's assertive. She has a lot of great qualities, none of which can be obtained without healing the heart and restoring the mind and raising the consciousness of everyone who is a part of this platform right here. So with that said, I don't want to keep it going. I can ramble, but my honey bear is about to be home soon. So, by the way, I sew. Yes, I sewed that little big old sweat over there behind the fan. I sewed that up, you know. So she does that, and in doing so, being though I can sew, guess what? That saves money. He doesn't have to go to the dry cleaners. No one has to go to the dry cleaners, right? And it's a skill that was developed. So she also has, and I promise this is the last one. I'm gonna put it under, put a dome piece over it. She has home economic skills. The very thing that was taken out of our high schools is what she comes with. So we're gonna get into all of that in other videos and other lesson plans to come. I'm gonna be having assignments, activities, and all that. Yo, I am just so excited. Ooh. Oh God, I wish I was a pig so I could squeal. But I won't. But again, thank you. Thank you for your support. But most importantly, thank you for your trust in me with the very essence of yourself and your happiness. I don't take this lightly. I do know the value you come with, and nothing but love and respect from me. With that said, love and light always. Until then, my love, stay magically delicious and remain spiritually redefined. Love you. Bye. Mwah.